and then we'll see what goes on from there. Cool. If you have any questions, please add them over in the comments. Aaron's going to be monitoring those, and if I miss them and it's an important question, I'm sure Aaron or Wes, somebody will tell me, and we will try to answer any of those questions, anything that I miss here tonight. So first of all, let me go over my little list of things to talk about. Topic number one, band camps have all been canceled for the whole summer. We as a group, all the high school band directors got together last week, the week before, we discussed it and decided that it's just not feasible. Here's the situation. SCSBOA has canceled championships. So that's definitely off the table. Are there going to be competitions? Right now, we just don't know. It's up to all of the individual schools and individual school districts as to what they are going to allow. I don't believe that any of the schools in the Hart district, which that host comps, that's West Ranch, Hart, and Valencia, I don't believe any of them are planning to host a competition this fall. So pretty much the competitive fall season is gone. And I apologize, and I know that's disappointing to a lot of you guys, especially the kids out there, but it just is what it is. We still don't know what's going to happen with football. I mean, they haven't canceled football, but personally, I just don't see how it's going to work, in the COVID environment. But I'll leave that up to people at a higher pay grade than me to make those decisions as to whether they're going to have football, as to whether they're going to have spectators. We at a football game are spectators. So if they have football with no spectators, I don't see them having the band, but those decisions have not been made. Okay, so our first band activity is going to be the first day of school, which is August 11th. That's a Tuesday. And we're just going to start there. We just decided that if we're not going to have a competitive season, it doesn't make any sense to incur the expense of having band camps, especially when those camps would be so terribly limited because the constraints on how to do all of that are just pretty ridiculous. So no band camps. The good news about that is that we are not going to be asking for any band camp fees or donations this year at this time. Typically, for all the new guys, incoming freshmen and new members, last year band camp fees were $800 basically to $1,200, $700 or $800. Really, $800 meant that your parents were agreeing to volunteer a handful of times for competitions, football, concerts, etc., fundraisers. And then there was a $1,200 option, which meant no volunteering and no fundraising. If you paid the $800 option, you were also going to then participate in fundraising because the goal was to fundraise approximately $400 throughout the course of an entire year, which would bring everybody up to $1,200. This year, with no band camps, that means that we don't incur the costs of a competitive football and marching band season, which is paying for the drill, paying for the competition music, paying for buses, paying for staff for camps, paying for food for all of the camps and competitions and games, all of the props, color guard costumes, flags. That alone is probably $8,000 that we didn't incur. All of those things, we don't have those expenses if we don't have a competitive show. So we agreed that we shouldn't be charging you guys any fees. Now, we are still going to have some expenses for the fall. I'm hopeful to still have sectional coaches coming in, but we have to wait. District is going to allow, but I'd still like to have sectional coaches come in once a week. And for all the new guys who might not know what I'm talking about, we typically bring in a coach to do a 1 hour to 90-minute sectional with each section: flutes, clarinets, trumpets, French horns, low brass, saxophones. I'm forgetting somebody else. Oh, and we used to have a tuba coach, so that everybody would get special instruction. Plus, we have an entirely additional percussion staff for pit percussion, battery, etc., and the entire color guard staff. So we don't have a lot of those expenses, but I am planning to still do sectional coaches if we can. So that will probably just be once, well, we'll see how they're going to do it. I saw a question here saying, is that going to be twice a week, one for each cohort? That raises up our expenses. I wasn't planning on that, but we don't know if we can do after school activities. So we might be able to say, hey, we're going to do after school sectionals, which would be great. That because I'm not going to be able to give up any class time, because I don't know if you all have seen the schedule for the fall. There's very little actual class time for each student in each of your classes. So so I'll come back to that in just a second. So no band camp fees, but we are still going to need everyone to fundraise through the fall. We'll do World's Finest Chocolate. We'll probably do at least one more big fundraiser such as that. Then we're going to be doing grub nights throughout the whole semester where people can go out. The last one we did was the Tomato Joe's grub night, and we raised like over $400, 426 approximately. And that was in the middle of COVID. That was a fantastic turnout for that grub night. So thank you to everyone who came out. So we're going to try to keep those going because that's easy money. Everybody has to eat. Why not eat and help the band raise money at the same time? And since we're not charging the band camp fees, hopefully everybody understands that fundraisers are going to become a little bit more important, but that's the plan. Cool. As far as what we are going to try to do in the fall, there's some questions there as well. Right now, we don't know what we can do. Currently, no students are allowed to play wind instruments indoors. So everything would have to be outside for band. Now, percussion and color guard are able to wear masks, so we could probably have them rehearse indoors if need be. But at the moment, we're being told that instruments all have to go outside. I think that's going to change. I just don't know. So I'm planning to still do marching band, but we just don't have really any big performance opportunities. If there's no football games, no competitions, there are going to be no rallies. Where would we actually perform? Don't know. But what we're going to do is we're going to dive in. We're going to come in the first day of school. We have to figure out who's going to be in cohort A, cohort B. All of those questions still remain to be answered. So I don't know exactly what the fall is going to look like. If it turns out that we end up just doing mostly concert band because we are allowed to play inside, we can do that. If we have to be marching band only and be outside, then we can learn to march, and we can learn circle drill, and we can learn all of our technical exercises and long tone exercises. We can learn lots of pep band tunes. We can learn a show musically, and then we can perform it. Maybe we can do some sort of performance out on the field where the students are all socially distanced and the parents and friends can be up in the stands, and we can do a family night later in the semester when hopefully the LA County and our state has a better grip on the COVID-19 situation. We'll just have to play it by ear. Okay, so we're coming back the first day of school. We're going to dive in with whatever we can based on the schedule, how the cohorts work, and all of those things. Drumline and color guard. Let me address you guys separately because you're sort of a separate thing. I am planning to keep both of those entities running through the fall. So we want to do a drum line with battery and with a front ensemble, working up some sort of show, whether we pull out the winter show that we were working on last year, whether we go back, we can go back in the archives because we can play any music that we've played years and years ago without having to pay for it because we're not going to be performing it in public, so we don't have to pay copyright fees, which is great. So we'll have plenty of stuff that we can do. So we're going to try to figure that out. Now, how are we going to schedule drumline and color guard? That's up in the air. I don't know yet whether or not we can do after school rehearsals. I don't know if we can have evening rehearsals. I doubt it, but possibly. So if we can do after school rehearsals, we can do drumline and color guard after school. I don't know how cohort A and cohort B is going to work. It would obviously be much better if we can have both cohorts together for the drumline, especially. If they asked me, I would say let's put battery in cohort A, front ensemble in cohort B, and then drumline would be great. But I don't think they're going to ask me. I think they're basically going to do the cohorts by alphabet. Does everybody understand what I'm talking about when I say cohort A and B? The plan is to, in order to accommodate a class of, let's say, 36 students, we can't have 36 students in a traditional classroom because then there's no way there's any social distancing happening. So they're going to split it in half. Half the class will meet cohort A, the other half will meet cohort B. Cohort A will come to school Mondays and Tuesdays. Cohort B will come to school Thursdays and Fridays. And Wednesdays will be every other week. So let's say this week, cohort A comes on Wednesday. The next week, cohort B comes on Wednesday. There is talk of a, oh, look, Hector's got Malin there. There is talk of a first period, which would meet every day, but I don't know how that's going to work in the cohort scheme of things. So right now, Monday would be periods 2, 3, and 4. They would be from all in the morning and be done at lunch, sort of a late lunch. Tuesdays would be periods 5, 6, 7. Wednesday would be all periods, but shorter periods, sort of like a rally schedule. And then Thursday and Friday will be periods 2, 3, 4. And then Friday, 5, 6, 7, cohort B, cohort A. So that's as much as I know about that right now. That could all change.
Roger.
So how's that going to work? Don't know. Just wanted to let you guys know that we definitely are planning to move forward. We're definitely going to plan to have a drumline. We're obviously not going to do auditions for color guard and drumline. We're just going to get them up and running when school starts. Once we know what the constraints are and the rules, and then we can dive in and go forward with there. If any of you guys have any friends, we haven't really been able to reach out to new color guard members, which we typically do. We always go down to La Mesa. We have a big day. We reach out. So we don't have many new color guard, but if you know of anyone who's interested in color guard or interested in band but didn't sign up or what have you, just ask them to, they can contact me via email, or they can show up first day of school and just come and see me, and we will get them scheduled in. If anybody has any questions for me, my email is
I'm sorry.
rbrooks. You got me?
There's a few right now.
What's that question?
Since you're on color guard, there was a question as who's going to be coaching color guard.
Right now for color guard, I'm planning to keep Hector and Brian on staff. Since we're not charging band camp donations / fees this year, we're going to have to go really cut the budget as much as possible. So I'm only going to have Brian and Hector is the plan at this time. If we realize that we can get more involved and get some things going, we can then discuss possibly expanding our staffs and bringing in a pit and front ensemble instructor or additional staff. But right now it's just going to be Brian and Hector. A double first and second for band, don't know yet. I haven't heard back from school. I don't know what period band is going to be. I don't know if we're going to put it the first period because nobody currently knows how that first period slot is going to work. Cool? And if I glitch out at any time, just somebody wave at me and I'll shut up and wait for it to get cleared back out. I know how Zoom likes to do that. It's already divided by alpha. Yes, so cohorts I figured would all be done by alpha, which is kind of going to suck for band because who knows what the instrumentation will be cohort A and cohort B. I might have all the saxophones and like no tubas one day, but it is what it is. We're just going to have to work within those constraints. Let me see.
So was asking about jazz band too. If there's jazz band.
Oh, good question. We're definitely planning to have at least one jazz band. I would love to have two because then I could have cohort A, jazz 1, cohort B, jazz 2, but that's not how they're setting it up. And I just don't see any way that they're going to let me move people around because it's just too complicated from a scheduling approach. So we're just going to, once again, just have to get what we get. Probably everybody in jazz band will just be in one period. What period? I don't know yet. Am I looking dark? Let me turn on a light. Okay. Well, that's bright. Okay. So jazz band is happening. We just don't know when, where, and how. Everybody who's interested in jazz band, let me know. Send me an email. My email is, if you don't know it, rbrooks@heartdistrict.org. So you can always send me an email and say, hey, I'm really interested in jazz band, and let me know. Cool. And once again, if there's anybody you know who should be in band, but for some reason isn't, just ask them to send me an email or show up the first day of school. We'll figure that all out. For any new members that are out there, if you could do me a favor, please, and send me an email when you get a chance and just tell me your obviously your name, what instrument you play, and if you need a Golden Valley School instrument to be checked out to you. That way I can start figuring that out a little bit ahead of time before we get back to school. Because I have names on a list, but I don't know what anybody plays as far as my incoming freshmen, except for a few of you that I've worked with. The percussionists, I know you guys because we go back a bit. So you guys are cool. I'm going to take a moment and pass it over to Wesley Hester so he can talk to you about the booster situation for a few minutes and introduce himself as our new band booster president. So take it away, Wesley.
Hey, thanks, Roger. Good evening, everybody. I'm Wesley Hester. I'm the band booster president for the year. It's good to be around everybody and meet. These are very, we're just going to keep using the word unique and wonky times, and we're just going to keep plugging away together. The band has a lot of unique expenses and a lot of things that happens throughout the year. We're going to be pushing out the packet of information that outlines all of that to everybody on July 27th. So July 27th, for those of you that we have an email, you'll see an email from us asking you to fill that out. Everything has switched over. For those of you that have been around the band for a while, you might have heard the word, there's band fees or things of that nature. We changed that up this year per district policy and other things that came down. So we're looking for donations this year. And that donation right now is $600, but that's through the whole year. There's everything from fundraising to partners to family donations. There's many, many things you can do to get that going. And what that $600 does, just like Mr. Brooks was talking about, it supports our coaches, it supports the activities that the students do. Part of that would have gone forward to support the camps that might have taken place, which are obviously canceled for the year. So some of the things we're trying to get done this year, we put on hold because we still don't know what the year holds. But, the purpose of the boosters is to support Mr. Brooks and his vision for the band. So you can expect an email from myself, or you can see some emails from Dana Gordon, who's our vice president. She's on the call with us tonight. Erin Hester's our treasurer. She's with us. Lindy, who is also with us, is our secretary. Yay, didn't have to take minutes for this one, Lindy. So, that worked nice with the wonderful participation we've had. We've got 54 folks on the call, which is great. Alicia, who is our fundraising chair, is also with us. So any questions about fundraising, get them to her. I see Norma and Jolene and Sue and Michelle. So we've got a huge board that covers everything from health and safety, which is the area that Michelle's taking care of. Norma and Jolene are helping with some of our other logistics in different areas of the band. And I'm sure forgetting some folks, but we're all a big group. If you know one of us or you have any questions, just email it to anybody that you know. And we can discuss it and take care of it from there. We're really, really inclusive group, and we don't want to push anybody away. So feel free to reach out to Mr. Brooks, let him know what your needs might be, and how can we be of assistance. So I said a lot, but we don't know a lot. So that's it. It's just it's gonna be an interesting year, but we've got a lot of good things going. And one thing I wanted to note to everybody: please, please, please like the GVHS Facebook page. That's how we get a lot of information out to everybody. And it's also a way in time we hope to build in sponsors and other support for the band. Our next grub night is going to be Wednesday, the 22nd. Alicia, it's a Wednesday, I think, right? Thumbs up? Yeah, okay. Head nod. We're good. Thank you. The 22nd, our good friends at Tomato Joe's, who helped us out a lot last month. They did deliveries as well as pickup, which was a nice feature. And Dana, that's going to happen again this month too. They'll also do deliveries. Great. So Tomato Joe's will do deliveries locally. Sorry, Mr. Brooks, you're going to have to come up to get your Tomato Joe's fix, I'm afraid. We'll take care of that. Our other partner for the month is Baskin Robbins. So all day on the 22nd, you can get your dairy fill. And anywhere from 15 to 20% is going back to the band. I don't remember which is which, but think about that alone. $400 going back to the band in one event last month turned out to be a great thing for us. We'll be, like I said, information's coming out on July 27th. And right before the school year starts, we'll be holding our first booster meeting. It'll be in a very similar format. We're going to hold it over Zoom. Mr. Brooks will have some type of update for us, and we can then take that time and see what our year is going to be and take it from there. Let's see. Got some questions here about fees and donations and rolling that over. For those of you that were in the band last year, any of those particular questions, feel free to send them to Aaron, who is our treasurer. And the treasurer's email, I've got an echo here, just a second. All right, just send that to Erin, our treasurer, and she'll be able to help you out with that information. Thank you, Claudia. Like our Facebook page at GVHS Band Boosters. Dyslexia, I got to flip the words around there. And let's see. And as Aaron said, the meeting's being recorded, so we'll post that wherever we can. So if anybody missed it, you missed the beginning, or you want to reference some other information that was talked about, you've got that as a reference. Okay? All right, so I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Brooks. Again, open door, folks. You have any questions, please just email any of us. Look for us on Facebook, and we're happy to help out and looking forward to having a good year. And, thanks, Mr. Brooks, for all your effort, even though you don't know too much right now. So we appreciate that.
There we go. Okay, am I back? Everybody got me? Okay. I do want to make sure and just clarify. So that's Tomato Joe's and Baskin Robbins Grub Night on July 22nd. Cool. So hopefully everybody can take advantage of that. Come on out. I drove up last time. It was worth the drive. It's great pizza and it's a great cause. So that's all happening. Once again, school starts on the 11th, and new members send me an email. We will have drumline. We will have color guard. We just don't know how that's going to work yet. We have to figure all those things out and wait and see what the district allows us to do. We definitely will have band this fall. We just don't know exactly how it's going to be structured. So all of you guys who aren't sure what's happening, we're definitely going to move forward and have band in some way, shape, or form. I promise you guys. So we can get that all back going. One sense of hopefully something slightly back to normal, even though it's going to be completely weird and not normal, but it'll be nice to at least get back to school. That's for sure. Hopefully. I know that the original email I sent out to the incoming ninth graders said 7 o'clock. So I'm going to definitely hang out here past 7. And I'm going to look and see if there's any more questions. If anybody has any questions, put them in the comments and I will look on there. The question was, what's the time for the grub night? Is that an all day thing, Wes? Or
It's all day.
All day.
Alicia, I think one of them opens at like 10 or 11, but it's all day for both of them, whatever their operating hours are for that day.
Cool. Looks like 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. And we'll send out flyers. Oh, also for anyone who is new and is not receiving emails from boosters, the boosters send out an email almost weekly, at least during the season. So you'll need to send, Wes, who should they email or who should they send their email to get on our email list?
They can send it to Lindy, who is our secretary, and we'll make sure you get added to the list. You can also send it to Claudia. She does a lot of our social media, and Claudia is actually the one that sends out all the emails to everybody. But just so that there's some backup there, send it to Lindy and Claudia.
Cool. Can we get their email addresses up on here? Because for the new people,
Aaron's going to put it right into the group chat, so everybody's got it there.
Cool. So everybody, you'll be able to get those email addresses and go from there. Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions about anything that I can try to answer? Even though I don't have all the answers, I just know what very little I do know. I'm happy to try and help things out. Looking at the comments. Cool. And then we typically have booster meetings the first Tuesday of the month. Are we going to plan to keep that going, Wes, or how are we working that out?
Yeah, thanks. Well, we will plan on keeping that going. It should be the first Tuesday. I don't have that date in front of me here. Just a second. That should be the 4th. We'll do it the week before school starts. And if we need to get any information out or we think there's something real important that we need to discuss, we might hold a meeting a little earlier. As I said, all the forms and paperwork and added information is going to go out on the 27th of July. So please, 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 freshmen, new families you might have moved or changed your email, send that to Lindy and Claudia. If you know Dana, send it to Dana, send it to me, whoever you can. So we have a updated email list, and we'll get that information out to everybody. So we're all set to go and know who everybody is for the year.
Okay. All right. There's some emails out there for you guys, and I think that's about it. I think I'm going to be back to school starting on the 6th, which is the Thursday before school starts. Thursday, Friday, we have teacher meetings, and then the Monday before school starts. So I'll be there to start getting some things organized and looking at instruments and all of those things. I haven't been on campus at all, so instruments might be in slightly bad shape. Nothing's been oiled, nothing's been clean like we usually do in the summer. So we'll get that all happening as soon as we can. Trying to think if there's anything else I can share with you all now. Once again, if something comes up, just send me an email and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I'm going to be doing a little traveling here in the next few weeks. So, but I will always be available via the internet and all that good stuff. Cool.
And for team, if you don't hear from any of the booster members, like I said, there's plenty of us. So just kick that email out. You know, there's a roster and you'll have our cell phone numbers or our email addresses. Just don't give up. We're not ignoring you. We're all kind of bouncing around over the summer. So you have something pressing, you don't get an immediate answer, just send one of the other members another email. We'll make sure it gets to the right person to get your question answered promptly.
Okay. I think that's about it. Also, parents, I just noticed something came up in Spanish. If Spanish is an issue, Claudia is our Spanish interpreter, so you can always contact her and she can translate, and that's really nice to have. So keep that in mind. And I think that's about it. Is it 7 yet? I don't know if we've seen any new
7 on the money, my friend.
And then Aaron or Wes, I guess this has been recorded, so if somebody missed tonight, how can they access this to see it?
I'll post it on our YouTube channel, and we can also post it to the Facebook if we want to.
Okay, and we can probably send out an email to everybody, especially with those new email addresses that we're getting, and add that link to that or something. So just stay tuned, and I'm sure Aaron will get you guys all hooked up. Okay, that's all I got. So if everybody's cool, thank you guys for coming. We'll be in touch. I know we're going to have that booster meeting on the 4th. And students, you guys are all welcome to come and join us to see what's happening. I'll be sharing information. Also, one other way that we share information within the band is through Remind 101. And this year, our assistant drum major, our drum majors are Jaden San Marty and Jade Alfonso. So they're our head drum majors. Of course, we don't have a field show, but they will be working. They will be conducting. I will put them to work. But Sophia Fain is our assistant drum major, and she's running Remind 101. So if Sophia's out there, how do kids get signed up for Remind 101? I'm looking for a comment.
You know, we'll push that out and make sure that's on the sign-up forms and everything, Roger.
Cool.
Oh, and Ricky's asking. She's checking on that too.
Yeah, so for all the kids, that's really what works well. So if I need to get word to you guys, I'll send a text to Sophia, and then she'll send out a remind to all of you guys. And I know Drumline, you guys already have a good communication working with Hector and Malin. MB, she's down there, I see her. So we'll get information sent out to everybody so you can get on to Remind for the kids. And parents, you're welcome to sign up for that too if you want to see what information is going out. But also the emails, and that's how we will do most of our communicating. Emails, Remind, and put things on the Facebook page. Cool? All right, that's all I've got. Wait, I'm seeing something. Sophia says students should text at GVBand to 81010. It's on the comments on the side. So students who are not signed up for Remind 101, all my incoming freshmen, please take care of that as soon as you can, so that when Sophia starts sending out information, you'll be in the loop.
And team, we'll add that to our Facebook page and any other communication, so that's right there for everybody to see on our website.
All right. That's all I got.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
That's great. Thank you, Mr. Brooks.
Talk to you soon.
Be well, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hold on.
Hello, Roger, are you still on?